may aniga waxa suuragala adduunku inay iga haystaan fikir qaldan waxa suuragala wax badan in la iga gudbiyo waxa suuragala wax badan oo shaqo ku leeyahay asaga shaqo ku leh.
Well, he was really the founding father of piracy.
Never fisherman, just cashed in on the free for all.
كبعد واحد عادي لفت جودي حتى أنا يسوه بينه أي لهم وضمنا بريق أفريقيا عرفوا أن تتجان إسكسوه بين وما يلك له كلي مادين أما يمنها كلي مادين إن أي لفت جودي بيجي مادين أيقو مارت الدنيا إن حبتي ما وقت طبعا كوتا وردي كقبتين سمارك تاي أنا أيقو سلي أنا لذي كتشيرين أو مارك تاي ماشان كجيل لين بدي شغالي دي إنه قصة الله تام مانول أيقو abashaho baqanayo cararay anu waxaan kamid ahaa markaas dadkii ay dhiyadaas keenan ugu ayaan kamid ahaa in waxaan la iska celiyo macnaheedu xataa markaas in la qabto ma ahayn hawn la iska celiyeed hal la iska kaxay.
In April of 2013, Mohammed Abdi Hassan, better known as Afweni or Big Mouth in Somali, granted an exclusive interview with journalists at Mogadishu's most high-end hotel. He explained how he organized fishermen in his home region of Mudug to protect Somalia's coastline, the longest in Africa. Chaos had engulfed Somali land and seas after the state collapsed in 1991.
When this first started, it's absolutely true that Somali waters were being overfished by international fishing fleets, and because Somalia doesn't have a declared exclusive economic zone, a lot of international fishing fleets from Europe and Asia felt absolutely free to come in close into the Somali shores and fish illegally. So in the beginning, it was true, there was a lot of overfishing.
In the beginning, it wasn't like ransom as such. It was like fines for the fish they had taken, and they will release them almost instantaneously. It was like, then these illegal fishing boats armed themselves against this, Somalia Coast Guard. And then it's only after they armed themselves that these guys on the Somali side got very ruthless and started, firing back.
cuntadoodii cunaan waxay waliba cunaan shay aad u qaali ah oo aan siiyaa daily oo aad u qaali ah oo la yiraahdo miro aad u qaali ah oo expensive ah waliba lacagtiisu ay tahay ayay cunaan maalinkii waxa ku baxda 12,500 birthday waxa ku baxda arrinku sidaas ku bilowday ka bacdina waxa bilowday howlgal ballaaran maadaama aan maamul jirin maadaama aan dawladda jirin waxa iska bilowday howlgal ballaaran nin waliba u shaqo tago.
Afweni, a former civil servant, created a model that quickly outgrew the interests of the everyday fisherman. He would soon be known as the founding father of Somali piracy.
What do we do about the rampant piracy on the high seas?
So what does buying piracy insurance get you?
Second skip. Over 2 million square miles of ocean.
An anarchy and yet a well-organized business of crime.
What began as an act of desperation by Somali fishermen to defend their waters swiftly evolved into a criminal enterprise.
But don't make any mistake, there may have been illegal fishing in Somali waters, but what we have now is a criminal activity that has got nothing to do with fishing whatsoever and is purely a criminal enterprise run by gangsters for profit using horrendous tactics, including killing people and torture. So this has got nothing to do with illegal fishing anymore. It's all about crime.
Gangs of fishermen found they could easily capture and board international fishing vessels. In 2003, Afweni began headhunting for pirate trainers in the Puntland region, where piracy had first emerged. He carefully selected pirates to create the most efficient and least expensive team. Afweni recruited across clan lines, a notable feat in a country devastated by clan warfare.
Well, he was really the founding father of piracy. And interestingly, he wasn't a fisherman. He's picked up this narrative of victimization that Somali pirates will often use to justify their actions. And in some cases, some cases they were fishermen. But as I understand, Afweni was a former civil servant who returned back home to Somalia after spending time abroad because he saw this opportunity.
At the age of 24, Canadian Jay Bahadur left home to spend several months living with pirates.
It worked out. I mean, piracy was one of these things where just a night at a bar, after a few beers with a friend, we just started talking about it. This was way back in late 2008. And the idea, I think, I specifically was gripped by the same romanticism that I think has affected a lot of people about, hearing about modern day pirates. And so yeah, as you said, I packed my bags and went to see what was out there.
For all his talk about defending Somali waters from illegal fishing ships, he began his career by hijacking World Food Program transports that were bringing food aid to Mogadishu, to his own people. So quite the opposite of stealing fish. They were in fact bringing grain to feed the starving population.
may aniga waxa suuragala adduunku inay iga haystaan fikir qaldan waxa suuragala wax badan in laga gudbiyo waxa suuragala wax badan oo shaqo ku leeyahay asaga shaqo ku leh waxa uu ku leeyahay waxa uu ku leeyahay mid kaas la haysto wax ka haysta waa in la yiraahdo suuragala laakiin waxa ogaanaysiin warbixinta Soomaaliya ka timaada 90% waxa wax ka jiray u badan yahay laakiin anu hadda ku hor fadhiyaan runta ku sheegan rabaa waxaad weydiisan waa kaga jawaabay beenan ku sheegana ma rabo.
He sort of invented the kidnapping for ransom model. You certainly saw pirate attacks before Afwene's time, but they tended to take the form of kind of muggings at sea, where the crew might be attacked, their stuff stolen, and then the pirates would leave. Afwene realized that in Somalia, with the unsecured coastline, with the security situation there, you could actually grab and hold the crew for a long period of time, and in effect handle it like any other sort of kidnapping.
Mohammed Ado is a Kenyan Somali journalist with Al Jazeera who has covered piracy for nearly a decade.
From my interviews with pirates who were involved in the crime, and particularly in El, they told me, first of all, they don't value the ship. The ship doesn't matter to them at all, because what will they do with it? Will they take it, and what will they do with it? They can take it to any international port. Will they value the hostages? If the hostages are from the countries like the United States, the United Kingdom, France, all these countries that are considered the rich Western countries, that's what they love. That's what they prefer.
Pirate groups such as Afwenis were split into two teams, one to attack the ship and the other to hold the ship and its crew after the hijacking. Ransom payments became the main source of revenue for Afweni and his fellow pirate leaders. A World Bank report on Somali pirates estimated ransom payments totaled between $339 million and $413 million from 2005 to 2012.
I've been a soldier, or I was a soldier for 37 years, and I guess I've seen some pretty horrendous things, but having to deal with these poor families is heartbreaking.
John Steed, a retired colonel who once headed the United Nations Counter-Piracy Unit, now runs a hostage support program.
When you talk to the pirates, by and large, you're talking to a translator or a negotiator, and his job is to negotiate a ransom. You're not talking to the actual pirates holding the hostages. By and large, you're talking to a go-between who can be extremely polite and usually speaks they're very good at finding people who speak the language of that particular group of hostages. You know, even if it's Thai or Chinese, they manage to produce negotiators from the Somali diaspora around the world. These negotiators aren't necessarily always in Somalia. They can be anywhere in the world. This is a very complex business model with tentacles that are worldwide.
Chirag Bahri was an Indian engineer on a vessel hijacked by pirates in May of 2010.
Every evening we used to think about that, whether I'll be able to see the sun in tomorrow morning, because the kind of tortures what we had on my vessel was enormous. It was so difficult to survive in those conditions that we even lost the hope of coming back home or seeing our family members again in the future. So we lost all the hopes.
Crew members from poor countries accounted for a majority of hostages. Often abandoned by the ship owner and their governments, some spent years in captivity. Pirates demanded millions in ransom, an impossible amount for the families of the seamen. Chirag's family had little information and had almost no hope for his release.
It was disastrous, you can say. They didn't know what to do, whom to approach. My mother was very bad for her. She was under total depression, and I lost her during that time.
After 8 long months living in horrendous conditions, Bahri's shipping company finally paid the ransom and he returned to India. 2008 was a boom year for the Somali pirates. In September, Afweni orchestrated the taking of the MV Faina, a Ukrainian arms ship carrying 33 tanks, grenade launchers and ammunition. 21 crew members were taken hostage. The Ukrainian first mate died from hypertension a few days after the hijacking. Fearing the arms could fall into the hands of Islamist insurgents, an international naval force tried to recover the ship. After 5 months, Afweni's gang released the ship, its crew and cargo for a ransom payment of $3.2 million.
And now we're going to get an update on the pirates of Somalia, in particular, what they're doing with all that ransom money.
Pirates collected millions of dollars in ransom money, fueling endless speculation of where it all went. Media traced the money trail to Somali communities living in neighboring Kenya, in particular to the Nairobi suburb of Eastleigh. Business is booming here.
Yeah, I was born and raised in here, Eastleigh. Well, before it was just, mud, dirt and homes and, it was very low life kind of living. But now, as you see, there are many constructions going on now. New buildings are being built, new roads.
But residents of Eastleigh, many of whom are Somalis born in Kenya, feel the media unfairly painted Eastleigh as a pirate haven.
This is hard-worked money, hard-earned, and we work hard for our living. The people, the pirates who have stole these billions of dollars, they haven't even used that money to help their own people, their own family, they've used that money in other things. We don't know where that money has gone. You can obviously see it hasn't done anything to help us. So that money hasn't come to Sli, Kenya, Somalia, or anywhere like that. So that piracy money, I don't know where it's gone, but it hasn't come to us.
I ended up in Eastleigh and did some at least cursory investigative reporting on it, talked to some businessmen, talked to some guys funding construction projects there. And of course there are rumors, and there's no doubt that some pirate money comes from Somalia to the Somali community living in Eastleigh, but that money is not going to affect property prices in Nairobi in any significant way.
So where did all of the money go?
If you look at it, it's millions. The piracy money, the ransom being paid out is millions. But when you look at it critically, and having spoken to some of these people who have been holding, ships for months, some of them a year or even two, it's not much when you look at how they divvy the money up. For example, they take a ship, they hold it for 9-10 months, and they're given $2 million. This is how they divide it. 50% of the money goes to the financier. Then 50% has to be shared among the people who first got the ship.
As the financier, Afweni's earnings were reinvested in new pirate attacks. Running a pirate gang also involved heavy operating costs. In addition to taking care of hostages, some of whom were kept for years, Afweni had to support his pirates and their habits.
These pirates are drug addicts. They chew cut, they drink alcohol. For 10 months or a year, they have to get their supply of these much needed supplies so to get them going.
Kat, a leafy narcotic popular in the Horn of Africa, became an indispensable part of the Somalis' pirate life.
When you have pirates who are sitting on the ship all day, nothing to do, it's the job of their leader just to supply them with khat, literally, 24 hours a day if they want it. And then you get situations where they're so jacked up on the drug that they fire off guns, they intimidate hostages. In one case, a pirate in the middle of the night on a ship that I was, a case I was following, simply put a gun to the captain's head because he was so high and said, I want to leave, I want to go on a cruise. And basically just took the ship 6 hours down the coast and turned it around for no apparent reason.
It's not that every month, 5 or 6 ships pay the ransom money. No, maybe one would pay the ransom money every month. Now, if you look at all the people who are waiting for this money, it doesn't amount to much at the end of the day. And especially these people who have to build houses, who have to pay off all those women, the ones supplying the cart, the ones supplying the food. They have to give charity, and they talk of, some of them were talking to me about giving money to the weak members of the society. They go to the crippled people and pay. They're like the Robin Hoods of today and Robin Hoods of Somalia.
semberiba weligayba aniga dhaqaalo meel yaal lama yeelan waayo markii horena shaqaalan ahaa markii dambana dee waxbaba lagama helo waxa kan adduunku moodo inaan anagu wax qaadano 5 milyan 6 milyan inaan wax qaadano anagu lacagta magaceeda oon baa nagu bixiyay dad baa meel kale jooga iska qaataba waxaas waxba marna waxba ma helnaba waa dhibkeeda oon baa magaceeda xun baa na soo xigay.
Eventually the costs of piracy began to outweigh the reward. International naval forces began patrolling Somalia's seas, and most shipping vessels hired private security to fend against pirate attacks. As the business model of Somali piracy became unsustainable, shrewd entrepreneurs such as Afweni began to scale back their operations. And Big Mouth also started looking out for his own legal safety. He was asking for official forgiveness from the local and national governments in Somalia. Former governor of the pirate-filled region of Himan and Heb, Mohammed Tiai, himself accused of benefiting from the spoils of piracy, pardoned Afweni in 2010. 2 years later, the internationally backed government in Mogadishu also excused Afweni. To earn the government pardon, he claimed to now be fighting the very crime ring he helped to create.
One of Somalia's best-known pirates has announced he's retiring. Mohammed Abdi Hassan, nicknamed Big Mouth, says he will now work with the Somali government to end what he calls a dirty business. Big Mouth's career spanned 8 years, and his organization included hundreds of young men.
inuunan noqonin oo meeshii ama nalaga gacan sii lahaa ama laga hadli lahaa si yacni loo xadado loo hayo waayo waxaani waa kalluun bad laga soo bixiyey hadduu mar labaad ku baxsado baddana lama soo qaban karo waxa weeye marka waa dad tiro badan qarash badan baa ku baxaya oo ku socda muxuu ahaayey waa dad madkoodii hore han weynaa oo aanu noloshoodu nolol leebal ah may ahayn nolol waxay iska ahayd iska khiyaali dhib badan marka waxaa moodaa in arrintaasi nala kaga aamusay oo ay nagu daahday ayaad moodaysaa arrinkaas waxaa noo suuro gashay 932 dhallinyaro ah inaan soo xaraynay oo macaa madaxdoodii ay ka mid yihiin 3 barood bay joogaan waxaan sameeyey oo aan samaynay ciidan ayagaan kala magacaaban hab waxaan u dhisay maamul ciidan iyo gaadiid iyo hub ka xiga xeebta xaggeeda inaynan ku laabanin waan teeri garayna waa samaynay cuntadooday cunaan waxay weliba cunaan shay aad u qaali ah oo aan siiyaa daily oo aad u qaali ah oo la yidhaha miro aad u qaali ah oo expensive ah weliba lacagtiisu ay tahay ayay cunaan maalinkii waxaa ku baxda 12,500 birday waxaa ku baxda markay ugu yar tahay intaasaa ku baxda oo aynan ku jirin cabashadooda shakhsiyaadka gaarka ah aysan ku jirin.
Big Mouth found a way for the government to pay his bills.
runtii dhaqaalaha waxa ballanqaadku ahaa markii hawshaas lagu soo guulaysto ballanqaadkii ay nala galeen qoladaas ku meel gaarka ahaa wuxuu ahaa awalan dhaqaalahaas markii lagu guulaysto arrinkan in la wajaho raggan la qaabilo la wajaho macno loo yeelo muxuu ahaayey wixii ku baxana ay la bixin doono.
It's sort of like using a bank robber to guard the vault, I guess. And this created a huge scandal, of course, last year when it was revealed that Sheikh Sharif had appointed this pretty much the biggest pirate in history, at least in Somali piracy history, as now a counter-piracy officer. But this idea that 900 and something pirates are demobilized. I think this gives an incorrect image, which is that there are sort of pirate standing armies. Like 900 of these guys are wearing uniforms that say, I'm a pirate, and then Fuene comes along and says, no, you're a soldier now, or you're an anti-pirate militiaman, or whatever it is. In fact, piracy has always worked as very loose confederations of unemployed guys with guns, young men with guns, who come together for the purpose of forming a gang and then dissolve. There's not really a standing career as a pirate.
Experts doubted Afweni's sudden change of heart.
I've been doing this for nearly 6 years, so from the very beginning of the sort of the peak of the piracy problem, I've had no personal contact with Afweni whatsoever. He has never attended any of the counter-piracy meetings that we've held, and I run the secretariat for the Somali contact group for counter-piracy, but he has never actually attended any meetings that I know of. All through this whole piracy thing, they've responded and changed the model as we've reacted, and now the model's coming to an end. Then they'll adapt, maybe move into something else.
As the profits of piracy diminished, Afweni and his colleagues began expanding into other maritime work.
Now what you hear, at least according to the UN monitoring group, is that pirate networks in northern Somalia and Puntland have converted to weapon smuggling from Yemen, because a lot of the weapons coming into Somalia come through Yemen and then northern Somalia. So yeah, as you say, it's an extremely adaptable career. There's a wide range of options once you know your way around a boat, especially in Somalia.
New career paths for former pirates included arms running, drug smuggling, human trafficking, and counter-piracy.
I think Afwene is a good salesman. He has been in the game for a long time, made money, and suddenly announced through a press conference in which both the local and international media attended that he was retiring from what he had been doing, piracy. But again, I think he's not done with piracy because he's coming again through the back door, saying he's rehabilitating pirates and looking for contracts and all kinds of things. So I think he's just, how can I call it? He's just trying to change, because right now, the piracy is almost unsustainable.
While many were looking skeptically at his apparent retirement, Big Mouth was feeling complacent with his pardon in his briefcase and lived a comfortable life in Mogadishu.
I don't know how much money he has, but he still has money, and he according to friends I've been talking to, and when I met him, he looked like somebody who was enjoying himself in Mogadishu, sitting in cafes, chatting and sipping coffee all day on end.
But after being pardoned at home, could he be arrested outside of Somalia?
Absolutely. He's committed crimes that are punishable by international law.
Belgian authorities have detained suspected leading Somali pirate Mohammed.
He was detained at Brussels airport along with another man when he arrived, believing he was to be interviewed for a documentary about his life story.
Guilty of everything he may be accused of, but that will be tested in court. Any documentary could be many, many years away.
Having an official government pardon, Afwene was a free man in Somalia. But the United Nations linked him to dozens of hijackings, charges he would have to face if caught traveling abroad. In October 2013, nearly a decade after his career as a pirate began, and despite his quest for redemption, undercover Belgian agents arrested Afwene in an elaborate sting operation. Posing as filmmakers, they convinced Afwene to fly to Brussels to be interviewed for a documentary on piracy. Upon landing, Afwene was immediately arrested and taken to prison in Bruges. He faced up to 45 years in prison for hijacking a Belgian ship in 2009 and kidnapping the crew. Perhaps for the first time in his career, Big Mouth had been outwitted.
anigu waa kuu sheegay waxaan ku yidhi aydiyadii wax la isaga celinayay annagoo markaa si sharciga u arkayna inay tahay wax sharci ah ayay ahayd tilaabtii aanu ku lugta lahaa anugu waxaanan odhan karnaa isla markaas dad waxaan ahayn agoon waxaa la yidhaha dadka aabbahood dhintay macnaha waxaan agoon ka ahayn dawlad iyo sharci cid noo dacwootaa ma jirin cid wax naga celisaa ma jirin cid wax noo qabataa ma jirin dad dhibaataysan baan ahayn marka waxaan odhan karnaa markaas weerarkii aan markaas qaadnay mid waajiba inuu ahaa baan malaynaya laakiin farsamo xumo ka dambaysay farsamo xumo ayaa ka dambaysay waana midaan ka dhiidhinay oo aan u istaagay oo aan hadda libta ka keenay
adna haysku kay ladini urhoyahayo indhahaygu nuurkay kuildogsadeen adna haysku kay ladini urhoyahayo